Good morning. My name is Tina Mitchell, your local mortgage expert and your host of Coffee with a Superstar. My show is with real estate agents for real estate agents. I interview the best of the best in the industry so you can see what they're doing and how they're doing it. Each week we travel to our superstar's office, so you're invited behind the scenes of their business. And this morning, my superstar is Carrie Gendron. Carrie, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Very excited. And a little bit about Carrie. What Carrie would like to convey to most is that you can do anything that you set your mind to, and timing is everything. She received her teaching degree in 1994 from Seattle Pacific University and taught for all of a year. It was the hardest job she ever had, and what was most difficult for her is that she was ashamed she didn't love it like the other amazing teachers did. Now, fast forward about 18 years, after being home with 4 kids, she found her niche, and what she loves is helping people with their real estate goals, which is teaching and educating. And it has been a journey of self-discovery, and Carrie found is the more that she gives and helps others with positive energy, authentic care and excellence, the more business she receives. So that really is a mindset of a true superstar. Number one is being unique in who you are, being authentic in that person, finding what your passion is, and then being willing to actually step back and realize that maybe you might have misread where that passion would be most served, correct?
Yes. Yep, absolutely. And you'll see that there's a lot of years in there to discover that. And I think even the most, intentional people, when you go to school for something and you just need some time to know yourself. And I think that being a mom of 4 kids definitely taught me that.
Yeah, and that's great when you really have a chance to sit back and embrace your space and embrace the journey that you're on in life. It can really lead you to amazing directions that you really didn't think you were going to go, right?
Absolutely. Had no idea.
Yeah,
really.
that is great.
Yeah.
So I think this might tie in a little bit to the first question I always like to ask is, what do you contribute your success to, Carrie? Because you've had so much success in your business, volume-wise. She's looked at as a leader and somebody to inspire by your actions. So what do you credit that to?
I honestly don't even really think about it. What I think about is, I'll probably get emotional here because I think
That's
I credit
okay.
it definitely to my family because they have buy-in and they believe in me. I honestly couldn't do what I'm doing and work as hard as I am if I didn't have them backing me up and in my court. I mean, my kids have had to give up a lot. They don't get dinner a lot of times. I'm working. So family buy-in is huge. And then I think I focus on this book because this book has transformed me. It's called The Go-Giver.
And Victoria will post this.
Yeah, The Go-Giver. I think the most valuable gift anyone has, is to offer themselves. And so when I dove into real estate, and I say dove because that's literally what it was. It was like, here we go. And I intended to do it part-time, which quickly led to full-time, which led to craziness because of the market, which led to complete satisfaction and joy that I was in my element and doing what I love to do. The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. This talks about the 5 laws of stratospheric success, and these 5 laws are what I base my whole business and honestly my life on.
And that's so beautiful. I hope that you were able to hear some of the words that Carrie used, because there was a lot there in simplicity in the words, is, really in embracing, number one, being appreciative for and passionate about your family and what others have to sacrifice, because we all sacrifice for each other. And I think that's really what life is about, because we want to follow our passions, but we have to have that buy-in from everybody that's around us. And so I love that, Carrie.
Right. If I had met resistance from them and if they weren't for me, I could never have catapulted the way that I have.
Of course.
Absolutely. So grateful for friends and family who've been patient with me as I've been too busy and distracted, and I don't finish my sentences all the time because my brain is going in 1,000 directions. But your support system really matters.
Yeah, that is awesome. So what about a challenge that you've had to deal with recent or over the last 12 months, and how did you overcome that challenge, Carrie?
challenge of just balancing so many things at once and having my hands in too many things that I couldn't avoid having them in, because I see busyness as a gift. That meant I had a lot of clients, a lot of things I was juggling. And in that, I was so busy servicing those clients, and you get caught up in the moment and the contingencies and the deadlines and just the chaos of managing transactions that I didn't focus on my marketing and my future clients. You know, you lose sight of what's coming because you're focused on what you're doing in the moment. And how I overcame that, I think, would be just my support here at Real Living and the admin support I have of just doing whatever, helping me get organized and putting on my calendar. Not saying I'm quite good at following through with it yet, but I get it on my calendar of marketing plans and keeping it really concise and simple. What are 3 marketing things I want to do for that year? So this year I attacked it with a little bit more intentionality. Of 3 things that I want to do, making them cost effective and really having value in what I do with those marketing plans. I just get caught up in all the new shiny thing of whatever, because they look awesome. But I really was like, is that really what I want to spend my money on? And what am I going to do? So with marketing, I think the law of value, again, goes back to this, is your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. And so I'm intentional with my marketing now. What am I offering in value? Am I just putting my face on a brochure and sending it out? Or what's the value in that? I mean, there's really no value in that to me. I get them and they look beautiful, but what does it offer me? Nothing.
And I can't believe that I didn't mention that Carrie's with Real Living at Northwest Realtors. We're right here in the Bothell office, my very favorite real estate company. And so that's hilarious. It's just, this is like my home. I spend so much time around here. And, you know, so I think that's a big challenge, especially for people that are high producing and that's why a lot of times people see their business go up and then go down, and you have
to consider it, because where is it going to keep coming in? If you only service what's in front of you, you're not thinking about what your future clients, who they are.
And I love how you mentioned to put it on your calendar, block a time, and I call places on your calendar where you're working in your business, the daily activities that you have to do to keep your business running, and then you have on time, and that's where you're creating and developing new ideas into your business model. And I think people can either spend too much time on time, where they're creating and developing, or they've got all these ideas like the shiny coin that you talked about, and they're not able to implement that because they're just taking on too much, or they're spending all of their time in the business activities and they're not thinking about, like you said, that future business. And so I think with everything, if you can really balance that process so that you're committing a little bit of time to everything.
That's the challenge,
right?
Balancing it. Finding that sweet spot where you're not over servicing and that you're planning ahead.
And I love what you say too about being really intentional and thinking about those marketing ideas that you're coming up with. And you know, this show, Coffee with a Superstar, is one of those ideas for our business. Is I try to find things that that is really important to me when you're saying yes to things, that you have a balance for those things that you're saying yes to. And the balance that I'm talk about, and I go through my own balance test, is, am I going to monetize from it? Because I have to be best for myself to be best for others. And so am I going to monetize from this activity, as well as a balance? Is it going to be a contribution to others? And so if you can find that balance test in your marketing ideas and things that you're doing, then you know it's going to be a success. And then also, Carrie, you mentioned 3 things, is really dialing in, and this is what I'm going to commit to doing. Staying focused on that, implementing it, and then moving to something else, correct?
Because it's easy to hear what other people are doing and go, oh yeah, I should do that.
Yes.
And then you go, oh, that's a great idea. I want to do that. But for me and my business, I have to look at, I'm kind of going into the, what's the marketing strategy?
Perfect. Let's go right into the marketing strategy.
I think if you're bringing the best version of yourself, who should you bring that to? And I think it should be to my past clients and my sphere of influence.
Yes.
I don't think it should be to random people. There's a place for that, and it depends on where you're getting your business from. For me, over 90% of my business is sphere of influence and past clients and referrals. So that's where I'm going to focus my marketing. And marketing doesn't mean paper, email. it means, to me, marketing means marketing myself and who I am and bringing that authenticity. It means sitting in my local coffee shop and talking with people about things that aren't related to real estate.
Yeah, I love
It
that.
means talking to them about their family, sports. It means our common areas of interest, and it just means caring for the people in my community, my friends, my family, and getting to know them on a personal level. So being present in my community is a form of marketing that I do, and I couldn't tell you the ROI on that other than
You're very successful. You do a lot of business. So
I
it's
do
a pretty good
a lot of
ROI.
business, and I have a lot of referrals, and I'm so grateful for that because it's organic and authentic.
Yeah.
And authentic's a big part of who I am, and it's a part of who I like to work with. And it's what I offer that I think is unique, is that I care a lot about each transaction.
Yeah, and I love that you'd mentioned the coffee shop, because I've had some, personal time with you when we traveled in the islands of Hawaii together. But I love that, just sitting at a coffee shop. It's not about anything that has to do with real estate. It's about connecting, staying connected with the people that you've done business with, that are supporting your business. And I think that's one of the best marketing tips for those of you that are listening today that are looking to take your business to the next level. You already know the people that you need to know, and even better than that, these are people that already trust and like you, and they want to support you. You just need to be in front of them and remind them of what you're doing,
Yes.
but not make it about the business. Make it about continuing to build that and foster that friendship, right?
Right, absolutely. And don't get me wrong, they need to know you do real estate.
Of course, you got to tell them you do real estate.
You got to tell them you do real estate, and you have to
You have to ask for the business.
And I do ask for
Yes.
the business. I ask for the business if there's a way that I could be a resource or help them, but I don't vomit the business, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's a good. And there are some people that do that.
Want to be again authentic and real, and invite them. And sometimes I've even referred them to another agent that I think best suits them.
Yeah.
If I'm not the one. That
Sure.
sounds really contrary, but I think that goes to just the law of compensation. Again, I'm going to go into this. Is your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. Because who's not to say that someone who thinks then that I'm a good fit for someone they have would turn that around. It really is not about the money, it is about the service.
Yes.
And then the money comes, that'll just naturally flow out of that and the success. But success to me is absolutely marketing, all that is just about being a resource, bringing the best version of myself. That's really what it's about. And this vessel to do that through real estate does that, because I love using my intelligence. I love using so much about it, just suits me, and I've found it, and I want everybody to believe that they can find that thing that makes them get up in the morning,
And I think everybody can. It's just whether they're they're willing to take that step and that leap of faith to follow their intuition and their gut that's telling them that this is the path, and this is where their gift is going to most serve the public.
Yeah, no, I lived with the shame of not loving teaching for a lot of years, because everybody told me I'd be a great teacher. And I think there were things about teaching that I was great at, and there were things that I wasn't great at, and I had to know myself a little bit better before I could release that shame of just, that doesn't mean I'm a bad person or I'm not. But I spent 5 years and a lot of money getting that teaching degree. Yeah. And so not going back into it, I felt like a failure, I think. And then I knew how hard it was. I even tried again. I was a long-term sub at a point, and I still walked away just going, it's just not lifting me.
And imagine if you stay in something that is not right for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to just, let go of whatever that you thought the direction that you were going, regardless of the money or the time or the effort that you spend there. But, I really look at that educational background has to be a huge benefit to you. Absolutely, because of you are an educator and you are a teacher and you are a leader in the real estate space, and all that you learned through that time, I'm sure served you
I love teaching at that level. Yeah. Yes. It's true. I do love teaching and educating and relating how to break down the home buying and selling process
Yeah.
for them. That's part of the joys I have in that, is making sure that they're educated and can be confident in what decisions they're making.
Sure. So Carrie, it's probably going to, tie into kind of what we're talking here, but for a real estate agent that's listening to our interview this morning and is feeling, they're feeling tired, they're feeling maybe stressed about the unknown of what the industry might have for them in the future. They're feeling overwhelmed because they just don't have enough time to get everything done. They don't have confidence in their business, whatever those many, many negative things that I'm sure that people are feeling right now listening to this show. What would be a call to action that you would encourage them to do to take that next step, to take their business and their life to the next level?
Oh, that's a great question. I think we tend to be really isolated in real estate because we're in our car all the time. We're lonely. I think because you're just, and then you can just sit in that overwhelmed feeling all by yourself. The best advice I would have is get out and for me, my Real Living Tribe and admin support I have here, and this community is peaceful, it's cohesive, it's unified, and it's life-giving. So I think find a support system where you can talk with other agents who are feeling the same thing you are, and just say, help, what should I do next? And we can all encourage one another, because we know what it feels like. For instance, I got a phone call at my son's wedding rehearsal, I'll regret this forever, on a transaction, and I had lined up support, I had everything, and I still took the call. I was early in my career, and I wanted to please everybody, and I took that call, and I regret it because it ended up being one of the most conflict-oriented calls to this date that I've ever had, and I just chalk it up as an awesome learning experience.
Yes.
But had I not had other people to process through that with and say, put your phone away.
Yes.
In those events, you don't owe it to anybody to answer your phone at your son's rehearsal dinner, right?
No, definitely not.
So I learned from that because of other agents and because of their experience that have gone before me. And so talk about it. Don't just sit in it by yourself.
Yeah.
Ask for help. You have to ask for help and advocate for yourself to get the support that you need. And I think it's more emotional support than it is do this, do this, do this, and it's not tasks. We don't need more tasks.
We don't need more tasks.
We just need
no more
encouragement from each other.
Yeah, and I love that you'd mentioned that that story with your son, because again, everybody can be there, and a good way to be able to eliminate that emotional stress that you might have, because trust me, I'm available and accessible at a very high level in my business. But I also have times that I am not available and I'm not accessible. And what you can do is you can prepare ahead of time.
Absolutely.
Let people know that you're working with. Let your regular power partners know that this is happening. I love voicemail, and I love the ability to be able to change on my voicemail. Hey, I'm at my son's wedding. I'm not going to be available. I'll be available to return phone calls at whatever that next day is. And really set up that expectation. And when people hear that, there's no way, or have your email reply set up. Nobody is going to say, oh my gosh, really? I want to make an offer on a house and you're at your son's wedding and you're not going to take my call? And if they did, then obviously that's not a client.
That's what I'm saying. This agent knew, and she still called me and proceeded to initiate conflict. So it was a very good learning experience. I'll never do it again. So.
Yeah. One done.
Yeah.
And there was something else that I wanted to comment on that you made reference to, but and yes, in really building, sometimes I need to take notes for myself, but I really want to stay engaged in this process and not be typing, but that is having that support. And I love how you said it's really the emotional support. And whether you're at an office that just has a couple people and you don't feel that support is available in the office, some of you are at big offices that have lots of support there. Wherever that is, find it, get involved in organizations. I've had Coffee Stars, and Carrie herself is involved in Women's Council at Realtors, and you'll notice a trend of a lot of the superstars that I have are giving back to the real estate community, and that's why they're successful, is when you are the go-giver and you're doing for others, it just naturally comes back to you. But find that support. And get involved in like a mastermind group or, you know, whatever label that you want to give that, because I might be overused now, but and because the people that want that, they're going to present themselves to you when you start talking about that, and the ones that aren't, they just won't show up. But you'll find those quality people that you can really build that support to.
Absolutely.
And really important. And people that are, just like you said, that are in your industry, they know what you're going through.
It fascinates me that we can all be networking, like at Women Council of Realtors, and we can all be together, and there's not an ounce of competition. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
I love it. I love when we can all be together and support one another and what we're doing. It's very important.
Yes. So we've talked a little bit about, you know, what you're passionate about. We've talked about your story and your journey to make it into the real estate space and how that served you at a very high level for your volume and success-wise. Let's talk a little bit more about nothing to do with business, Carrie, but what are you passionate about? Why do you get up every single morning and do what you do?
Well, I think it goes back to family. I mean, that's a big passion. I have big dreams. I want to be able to go wherever my kids are and travel. And so I think right now I'm very, I get up and I want to work hard because I want to spend time with my family and not be bound to a job, I guess, later in life. We have several places we want to own properties.
Yeah.
That's a big dream of ours too, together. So I love to work hard, honestly. I'll work hard. I won't ever retire. I'll always be doing something.
Sure.
And the people who know me well know that about me. And I think my daughter said last night, so there's one thing, Mom, you will never learn to be lazy from you.
Love that.
So yes, that's a positive way of saying I'm kind of intense and I'm kind of
Yes.
focused on tasks a lot, but I want to be able to travel and I don't want to be stuck in a job. I just want to have financial freedom and I want to work hard to do that.
Love that. And Carrie recently, you'll have to check out her video, but it was so great. She recently did a video talking to consumers about the opportunity of purchasing a second home and how it's not as most difficult as people think, in being able to accomplish that goal. And I love how you brought what you're passionate about, and you said, having more properties. You have your beautiful home in Montana, which was a big dream for you guys to do that. And you pulled it together. And but when I was listening, I just got goosebumps just saying this because it's really bringing, what's most important is that you're able to bring in your passion to what you're doing and whatever you're passionate about right now in your life. And there's some tie that you can bring that into real estate. This was directly in real estate, but you could see in that video, and that's why I like the video so much, is because you could just see your authentic self sharing that you can do this. And
I know I don't remember stats very easily, but I remember this stat because I was so passionate about it. It's like only I'm gonna get messed up when I say it, but I believe it's only 35% of people who invest in second home properties have an income of $100,000 or more.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So that means 65% of people who invest in second properties make $100,000 or less.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if that's single income or dual income. I would assume it's single income, but that's fascinating to me. Yeah. That means that people, if you have the right counsel and if you have people coming alongside you, you can learn how to make your money work smarter for you to help your dreams come true. And I was like, well, shoot, I can do that. We can figure out how to do that. And then that motivates me to be out of debt. That motivates me because I want those dreams to come true so I can make memories with my family and be where I want to be when I want to be there.
Yeah. And how fun, for you to be able to, go back to your clients that you've worked so hard and taken such great care of, that already love and trust you in what you do, and find out where their magic place is, and to be able to find properties and connect them with that, and so much great things that you could do with that.
Yeah, I love connecting people. That's one of my loves too. I would say I'm passionate about is if there's anywhere that you want to buy a second property, I want to get you connected to the right people in that anywhere place so that you can successfully do that and be surrounded with the best of the best in the property management industry or the area people to make those decisions that are wise. And we all want to get out of bed in the morning for something.
Of course.
And the key is finding that something and not letting that die before you find it.
Yeah. So, Carrie, what about someone outside of the book, because obviously this is a huge inspiration for you, but who else is an inspiration for you in your business? Who do you listen to, a coach, a book, or a speaker?
Gosh, I can't think of anyone offhand. I always go back to, like, if I think of a mentor, the first person who comes to my mind is a high school teacher I had, JL Prezo, and she is a friend of mine. We don't touch base often, but when we do, it's rich. And there's something that she did for me back in those high school years that planted a tremendous seed of belief in myself, is because she saw me. She saw me behind my insecurities. She saw me behind a really hard time that I was going through in high school, and she believed in me. And I knew she authentically believed in me. Yeah. And that just inspired me to be, and she was intelligent. She was a very popular teacher. Everybody loved her. But for some reason, she saw something in me that was special, and I believed that it was special. Wow. So I think beautiful. The power of coaching, teaching in those formative years is key to our lives, because if we're destroyed in those formative years, we spend the rest of our lifetime trying to rebuild that system. But if we find someone in those years that sees us and believes that we're strong, we're capable, it fuels you for the rest of your life. And so, JL, thank you. You did that for
Facebook.
me.
We'll have to.
You know what?
Her.
She knows it too. I have communicated that with her, and I just love her, and I love what she did for me and so many other students during that season in our life.
What a great way to end our show and to end our time here with Carrie, is really think about the words that you use, think about the person that you are to others, because you have no idea what's happening behind the scenes. You know how you have no idea some of the simple things that you say, what an impact can make in their lives. And for those of you that feel that because we need to be that for others, and we need to have it for ourselves as well. So if you don't have that for yourself, you need to surround yourself around people that can help support you and help elevate you to that next level. Because that's really what life is about. Life is about contributing, taking in, and just, being the big, and I just always say, being the best for yourself so you can be the best for others. And that's really the only way that we can come from a true place of contribution, is we set ourselves up that, that we're in a place to want to give. Because if you're not in a place that you love yourself, and feel confident in the space that you're at, it's hard for you to authentically be able to contribute to others.
Absolutely.
So sometimes you've got to take care of yourself first before you can be that person for other people. But and
the giving part, I think it's important to realize it's not just about being having no boundaries.
Yes.
And just giving. It's really about giving with intentionality. Yes. And not giving in places that don't receive the value.
Yes.
I think really, being wise with how we give, with boundaries.
Giving to the place that is most connected with you, because then that's where you're able to, where you're going to receive things back.
Right. And not just giving to something trying to please people, which I've struggled with that big time, of just trying to, do everything to win that person over at all costs. And that's not what I'm talking about giving. I'm just, with authenticity and confidence, you can give in the right places, and you can also know when to pull out and give somewhere else where it's more beneficial for everybody. So
well said. Carrie, thank you so much.
Absolutely. My
and
pleasure.
Thank you for listening to this week's Coffee with a Superstar. We will be back same time next week, different location, and hope that you're enjoying the show. And in spirit of one-timing your business, which for those of you who are regular listeners is my coaching program, complimentary for real estate agents, 15 clock hours available. If you're a business professional, you can join in as well. But in the spirit of that, it's important to be asking for feedback to find out what's happening and how we can continue to better improve. I talked in my challenge last week for the coaching program that I do about constructive feedback. So I'm mentioning that because I'm here to ask you this morning for your constructive feedback. What can we do to continue to improve this show, to make it valuable for you, especially for my real estate agents that are listening, because that's what the show is. It's for real estate agents to help you in this business. And we did get a suggestion as we're wrapping up our time right here, that we could go to a different location. So we're going to work on that. We'll maybe be out on a kayak or taking a walk in the park. We just got to figure out the technology side of it. Yes, you can definitely do it again. This is what happens with the new early superstars. They don't get as much fun.
Top of the Space Needle.
Yes. We're going to figure out some cool stuff. So stay tuned, and I hope that you're getting tons and tons of value. And I just really appreciate, Carrie. I love you so much, and I'm just so excited for your success, and more importantly, so excited for your life and your passion and how you're able to bring all of that together.
Thank you.
Yeah, and cheers for our coffee.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have a great day.